presentation on Sunday night of the Italian Grand Prix. My name's WSR Devil. You could call me Drew. I'm joined today by...
WSR Flip-Flop Fish.
There he is, right there,
Hello.
co-commentating.
And racing.
I've got almost no audio from the game, like quite literally.
Really?
Probably.
Like, we don't really...
Let me go look on the on my phone. Hold on.
Alright. Well, let's hope so, because yesterday was a bit of a disaster along with the race.
Yeah.
We had Drew talking, it sounded like he was whispering. Like he was at the racetrack. You could barely hear him.
Playing golf. I was at the golf course.
Yeah.
Being real quiet.
Yeah, that sounds good.
You can hear me. Yeah, good. Alright.
And the race was even worse, even though it brought up ratings, so.
It's all good. That was interesting.
We had Alvis and Death Wish Tricky stirring the pot. And then Sir Topamat went flying into that one guy.
That was intense. That whole thing was absolutely intense. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to run you down the grid right now. We've got Lucas, S16. That's a nice motor. JJ, RD, Flip Flop Fish, Burn It Down, Goldfinch, I'm Seffi, The Pastor, McChicken, Skill Shots, Kara Auto, Bats Plus, FFC, Lucas Sarah. Man, it would be fun to have that actor, Sarah, what's his name? That'd be funny. Ben Swervin, Intent, who just smoked me in a 1v1 on Call of Duty. Not happy about it, but it is what it is. Harry the Dog, welcome back, sir. What a Potowski. Diego, who is a challenger for the win. And LSF1 Baker, who is looking for a much better showing in this race than the last couple that he's had. No fault really of his own. Just kind of getting caught in some bullshit. So hope he has a decent race.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm on the lap. I can take you on. You want to go on board with me? I can take you on board of the lap.
Yeah, go.
Well, we're coming through turn 2, I think it's turn 2 now. We're coming through Curva Grande, flat out. Now coming up to, I believe this is turn 4. We're going to break around the 100-meter board if you aren't using the line. Cut as much of the 2 corners as possible. Oh, I lost the rear a little bit there. Then we come to Lesmo 1. Much entry speed as possible and carry that speed through the corner. Coming up to the next corner, Lesmo 2. You can't go very wide there or else you get an invalidation. Now we're coming up on this DRS straight under this tunnel, I believe that's the old Monza circuit, coming up to Ascari now. Cutting the corner as much as possible. A little bit of understeer. Oh, no!
Oh, boy. Well,
I should have focused on racing.
Flip-Flop Fish will be in the back of the grid this evening, ladies and gentlemen. That was a very, very good lap up until the what is that, turn 11?
Something like that. I don't know. It's just a story. The exit, deadly.
Lucas S16 has a 118.3. Lucas Serra has a 118.8. LSF1 Baker puts in a 119.0. Who's next? Oh, we're going to have a bunch. McChicken is a 121. Diego, 118.5. All right, well done. Let's see, we got another. Is it Kara Auto? It is Kara Auto. It is Kara Auto coming up next. Then we got JJ. Kara Auto drops in. JJ comes, wow, skipping around like a crackhead now, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize. McLaren of Burn It Down goes in next. 119.7. We've got Skill Shots, I believe, coming in. Skill Shots coming in. He's invalid. Diego. Lucas pitting. Diego will be pitting. We got a Renault coming around. The Pastor. Is that the Pastor? It is the Pastor. He is on soft compound tires. He's putting down 119.6. Good for 8th right now, ladies and gentlemen. Seffi coming around. Seffi's pitting. He had an invalid lap. Who else do we have here? Everybody else is pitting. Yeah, everybody's pitting. Okay, so right now we have Lucas S16 with provisional pole at 118.371. We've got Diego, who's an absolute monster on any track, with a 118.5. FFC Lucas Serra with a 118.8. 119.8. JJ with a 119.0. Baker with a 119.0. Only 4 100ths separate those two drivers. Epic. Kara Auto with a 119.1. Goldfinch 119.2. Perry 119.3. Intent 119.5. The Pastor 119.6. Burn It Down 119.7. Where did Burn It Down go? Oh, 119.3 for Burn It Down now. Does better. Goes in 8th. 121.8 from McChicken.
So this Lucas S guy was a bit confused earlier because Lucas Serra was asking if a guy by the name of Lucas S could race, and I thought he was the same person as Lucas Serra. So I've raced with this guy before. I thought he was Lucas Serra the whole time, to be honest, when I raced with him. But he looks like a pretty quick guy. 18.3 from him, yeah.
Low 18s on his first lap. Unless he's been burning time trial for the last half hour. That's a good first lap.
I know, exactly. And I guess last week I must have accidentally texted him about racing in the Realistic Car Challenge when I thought he was FSC Lucas Serra. So I was messaging a random guy about racing in a Realistic Car race.
Well, it's good to have him in the championship. I hope.
Yeah, and yeah, we have JJ here too. He is a very quick driver. Oh, here's a co-commentator.
There we go.
Hello, hello.
Broom Handle, how are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Oh, you know what? I could complain, but nobody wants to hear that shit.
Do you guys think you could send me an invite real quick so I can join?
Yep, I did.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Lucas S is on his hot lap. I'm going to ride on board with him right now. Going into T1.
I guess I'll see you guys then. I'm going to join a tent party so we can focus on the race.
Yeah. All right.
Take a break from here, guys.
Is the stream up and running?
Yep, it's in the Discord if you want to watch it.
Okay, cool.
Well, everybody, welcome Broom Handle. He's our new co-commentator. Very happy to have you, man.
Hello, yeah, thank you so much for having me here. I'm super excited to join WSR. I've commentated once before on the Realistic Car Performances, but now I'm officially here and looking to have a phenomenal race. And yeah, of course, the Italian Grand Prix, a very famous Grand Prix in Formula One history, and a lot of exciting moments that we can have around here with so many overtaking opportunities. And yeah, really looking to have a phenomenal race alongside you, so hopefully we can have a good commentary there, and also hopefully these drivers can put on a good show for today's Grand Prix.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Looking right now at the standings, we've got several drivers out on laps right now. Looks like Lucas Serra has decided to bin this lap. JJRD is purple sector 1. We'll ride on board with him in the Ferrari. Going through the first Lesmo. And the second one. Great exit line. On the power immediately. Just barely let off to make the corner. Apex speed was wonderful. Coming into this tricky, crappy section. This is a really bad spot for Kara Auto to be. Oh my god.
Oh, almost binned it right there, yeah, because that Mercedes is right in the way.
Oh man. JJ hoping to get better than a 119.0. This is looking like it could have been a 118.5 without that mistake or that impediment.
All right,
still a 118.
118.7, the third place now. That puts that is actually a Ferrari powered 1, 2, 3 if you count the Alfa Romeos.
Well done. Well done. Kara Auto starts his lap now. The gentleman that was unfortunately doing what he could to get the hell out of the way of JJ.
Well, Prairie the dog is just about to come on an out lap. Do you want to go for a onboard? I guess I'll start if you want.
Yeah, go.
All right, so coming down into turn 1, break at 100 meters, just before actually, so you come down in that tight chicane, turn number 1 and turn number 2, riding on board with Perry. He gets a great exit off of that corner as you come down into turn number 3, Curve Grande, straight on the power as much as possible, up to 8th gear, and he's got a nice exit. You can kind of tilt the car to the left and go to the right, back to the left, brake at turn 4 into 5 now, kind of hopping over those turns. Make sure you don't dip a tire into the gravel, coming into the first Lesmo now. Brake kind of after that 50-meter mark as he comes right next to that curb there, coming into the second Lesmo, off the track as you want to do. Get on that green part of the track as you come onto the DRS straight. The last little turn right here, just a small little turn. I do believe that is turn 7 as you come down in turn 8 and 9 and 10 for Ascari. Difficult point of the section right here, the most difficult of the entire track in my opinion, as you go left to right to left, dating slipstream off the Williams ahead as he comes down the straight that has no DRS, coming in the last turn for turn number 11, a parabolica. You want to make sure you shift down to about 5th gear, straight on the power. Make sure you don't go onto the green as you can get a valid lap time very easily. He's going to come across the line, gets a very nice lap right here, and straight on the power he goes P6 with a 108, 119.0, sorry. So good lap for the Racing Point driver.
Yeah, very good lap for Perry. It's good to have him back racing. You want to pick another driver? We'll ride on board with him.
Yeah, let's look at McChicken at the moment. Looks like he's coming on his halfway through his lap right now. He's just coming through the second Lesmo. We know how quick he is. I've seen him in a few other leagues. He's been doing really good. I know him as well as he's a very good driver. He's at the bottom of the field right now in 17th place, so hopefully he can get a good lap here and kind of come in for his flying lap. I think he's just coming through Ascari now, and then he's going to start his flying lap, so maybe one of us can go on and onboard and, yeah, go into this lap with him.
Hey man, have at it. You know the names of the track corners, and I like that, so have at it.
All right, well, McChicken's just coming in the last turn now. Hopefully he can get a good lap, because, I mean, like, WSR is a great place to have some good racing, so you want to see those best drivers at the top of the field. But otherwise, McChicken up to about 215 to 220 miles per hour down into the first corner at turn 1 and turn 2. Slowest point of the entire track, actually, straight in the power up to about 7th gear as you come up, and now 8th gear into Curve Grande for turn number 3. Straight onto that curb as much as possible as you're kind of coming to the left, then to the right, back to the left, and then he comes down into turn 4 and 5, going across those curbs, making sure you don't dip a tire into the gravel, as McChicken does perfectly not to do so. Coming down into the first Lesmo now, straight on the power. You want to have some confidence in the car that you can turn the car as much as possible. Same with the second Lesmo here, as you come down into the straightaway for the second of the DRS zones, the 2 DRS zones of the track. Under the bridge we go, as McChicken's about to enter Ascari, like I said before, and like my co-commentator has said before, the very difficult point of the track is actually looks like he may have invalidated that lap or possibly abandoned that lap, because now he's going very slowly with only 4 minutes and 56 seconds to go. McChicken's got to get a good lap before we head into the race.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he did abandon that lap. We're going to probably see him dive into the pits now, put the last set of softs on, and get back out there as quickly as he can. Yep. I wonder why. I guess he didn't have a good entry line into Ascari, because he had a good...
I think...
It was good up until
go ahead,
then.
sorry. Yeah, I think what happened there is you're exactly correct. Is what happened is he just didn't have a good entry line, and I think he messed up on Ascari. I was probably like, okay, my tires are maybe like ruined kind of thing. And so he's probably what he's probably going to do is pit, then go for another set of tires, as he looks like what he's going to do right now. Pit for a new set of tires, and then probably what he's going to do is go straight into another flying lap and see if he can get a better lap, because that lap that, if he completed that lap that he was on, he would have been probably around P8, maybe P7, I want to say, with the mess up he had. He'd probably be down in the early 119, maybe like 119.3, 119.2. You never know what could have happened, but I think what he's doing now is pitting, then he's going to go out for that flying lap.
Agreed. I'm watching Diego right now, who's coming through the final sector right now, and he just absolutely flying, coming up to the final corner. This could be a fight, a full time right here, I think.
I mean, he's not too far off pole. Look at that, 0.3 of a second behind the Williams. He comes to the line, though. What's his lap? Ooh. very close. Do you think maybe if he did maybe a tenth or two more, he would have grabbed pole?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. He really didn't need to do a lot there, Diego, to get pole, but I think the last corner, he entered the corner too early, and he didn't give himself a good mid-corner line, so he lost a lot of speed coming through the apex, and if he would have been able to carry that momentum all the way through the corner, he would have been able to get more power at apex, at better exit speed, better straight speed, and he may have gained that 10th, but instead back to 118.397.
Well, hopefully you can set one more lap in. Of course, Monza has a very quick lap around here. Fastest lap, of course, is set by Lucas Serra, 118.2, so hopefully he'll go back into the pits. I don't know if he has enough time, though. Do you think he has enough time to come into the pit lane and go back out for an out lap, then a flying lap? I don't know. What do you think?
I don't think so, because it's really, the lap isn't that long. That's correct. It's the second shortest lap, I think, yeah, next to Austria. But it's just the pit straight, the pit crew, and all the bullshit involved with that. It's a full minute from when you hit the line for your pit speed limit to when you can actually pull back out, and then it's another 20 seconds to get out of pit. It's like a minute and 15 seconds just to get off the pit straight.
So isn't that so interesting? Is that you have to manage all that sort of thing? So it's really interesting because I mean, like you said, those pit crews, they have to assemble the car, get the tires ready, all that sort of thing. It's going to take about a minute, and that's exactly what you meant. So I mean, like, that's what costs time a lot. I think if you didn't have the pit crew, you were able to just go straight through the pits, do a drive-through, and just get your tires changed automatically. You know. He'd be able to get another lap in, but I don't think he'll be able to. And Ten's just coming around the final corner. You want to see if we can get a good lap around here into Parabolica now. Do you want to do the fine lap, or do you want me to do it? How does that work?
No, go ahead, man. All you.
All right, well, Intense is coming across the start-finish line now. Like I said, up to about 215 to 220 miles an hour. Most speed, actually, you can do on a Formula 1 car. This is one of those circuits you can do. Shift down to second gears to come down into turn number 1 and turn number 2. Straight on the power. Make sure you don't... You don't lose the cars. Traction control issues can happen around turn 2. Coming down into turn 3, like I said, to the left, to the right, and then back down to the left. Shifting into about 4th to 3rd gear as you come down into turn 4 and turn number 5. Like I said before, do not dip a tire into the gravel. That can mess up your lap, as Daniel Ricciardo proved back in the 2020 Italian Grand Prix. Into the first Lesmo, nice and clean as he comes through the second Lesmo, straight onto the curb as much as possible, onto that green spot as you kind of just coming off onto the track once again. Under the bridge, he is going into the DRS straight up to about 212 miles per hour as he comes down to Scar, the hardest point of the entire section. Left, right, left, all that sort of thing as he comes down to the straight that has no DRS, a lot of slipstream you can get. That's why Monza is so great for drivers getting slipstream, as that can make their times go in a different ways. He comes through the final turn, turn 11 of Parabolica. You want to make sure you don't go onto the left of that green spot of tarmac there. He does perfectly well, and he goes 8th fastest, the 118.905. A quick lap there by Intent.
That was a good lap from Intent. I'm happy to see him in the top 10 right now, I have to say. I'm very pleased to see such a good lap, and his braking into T1 was spectacular. His exit out of turn 2 was really good. I can't find a lot of spots that I would have done anything differently. Maybe Ascari could have been a little bit tighter, but that's a great lap.
It really was good, and I mean, like, Intent's one person to get good lines out of corners. He knows exactly where to take certain lines. Just talking with him earlier, he was saying that this is where you take this is where you take that, and that really helped me to understand the circuit itself. So he knows what he's doing out there, and it really shows on track. Quickly looking at tackle for quick. 19th position, last on the grid. Where is his lap going to go? 16th fastest. That is not good enough for the McLaren driver. And that is honestly, that is a very unfortunate lap for a tackle. So down in 16th place, he's going to have to make up a lot of positions in the race. But something to consider right here, and this is also something to do with maybe McChicken, Bats Plus, Flip Flop Fish, all those type of drivers. Are they thinking of maybe starting at the back of the pack and waiting for everyone at the front to kind of collide, and then they go in front and just, like, you know, take a lot of positions? Because we all know from doing 5-lap lobbies to commentating on races to driving races around Monza that there's always some sort of incident at turn 1. So maybe is that their strategy? What's your thoughts on that?
I have to say that's a really good point, and I know that Flip Flop Fish was trying to commentate his hot lap while he was doing it, and that was not that did not work out well for him. He ended up spinning at whatever that really fast left, right, left.
Scar, yep.
Yeah, he crashed.
Might be that one, yeah.
So
that could have been the reason.
Yep. But the other 3, McChicken was on mediums and didn't get another lap in that was any good on softs. Bats Plus, I know he's a solid second faster than that. And Attack Wolf, I've seen him race a couple times, and I have to say he's probably 9/10 off his own pace on it right now. So I don't know if they're necessarily thinking that far ahead. I want to hope that our drivers are planning strategy like that, and if this is the case, then damn it, good for them.
You know, I have to agree with you. I mean, like, their strategy is very bold to start at the very back. And you were saying as well, Attack Wolf, we know he's got better pace than that. I mean, like, he's a second to 2 seconds down from his normal laps that he usually does around here. So it's going to be interesting to see what his pace is going to be like in the race, and as well as other drivers. Like you're saying, Bats Plus, you said he was a very solid driver with good pace. He's also starting back there, as well as McChicken. I know he's a very fast driver as well. Flip Flop Fish with those issues with the commentating over the lap, something that is very hard to do. I've tried it myself, actually, and it's very hard to do. So all those drivers, I think we're going to see a very good race because of not just the rest of the field, but the drivers that we've been mentioning, because they're going to be flying their way through the field, making great overtakes. So it's something to consider quite a bit.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think what we're going to see is a turn 1 incident, either lap 1 or lap 2. It might not be lap 1 because people may use the escape road to try not to totally botch the first corner for the race. But I think that once we get into the swing of things, I definitely think in the first 3 laps we're going to have a T1 incident. And I think we're going to have all the drivers in the back wanting to make moves immediately. And here's the thing. McChicken, Flip Flop, Ben Swervin, their starts are very good. Very, very, very good. And I don't know about Bats. I don't know about Attack Wolf. I don't know about Sefi and Potowski. But those guys are going to have to be on the ball because Flip Flop, Ben, McChicken, they're coming.
I think they definitely are. I mean, of course, like you said, they have amazing starts. So if they're going to want to get up there, they're going to have to use that type of strategy of getting good starts and be able to get up ahead. So really interesting to see if that plays out for them. If they're able to get a good start at the start of the race, you don't want to do like a Valtteri Bottas where he had that issue in 2020, I do believe, had a horrible start at the Italian Grand Prix. So you don't want to do that, especially here. And like you said, collisions could happen lap 1, lap 2. So definitely something to consider through where these guys go for their starts. If they're going to get good starts compared to the other drivers, that could also cause a collision itself. Let's see how that works out. I'm going to quickly do a rundown of the grid. Unless you want to do it, Devil, it's up to you. All right, well, it looks like we have the Williams driver, Lucas Serra, on pole position for the Italian Grand Prix here at WSR. Lucas and the other Alfa Romeo, the first of the 2 Alfa Romeos, lines up alongside him in that, of course, Alfa Romeo racing car. The second Alfa Romeo of Diego had the pace in the qualifying, but just a little few tenths down from his teammate. He starts in 3rd alongside Skillshot, who we know he's got good pace as well. He starts 4th. JJ in the Ferrari starts 5th with Burn It Down in McLaren, also a great fast driver. He starts alongside him in that 3rd row of the grid. We got Teddy Paxter in that Renault car leading away at 10th for the 4th row of the grid between the Renault and the Haas team. They're going to have a battle throughout the race. We also got Carato and Goldfinch, Racing Point and Mercedes sharing the 5th and 6th row of the grid. So 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th for Carato, Goldfinch, Baker, and Perry the Dog. So they're going to have a battle between Racing Point and Mercedes. Watapatowski and Ankepi start 13th and 14th with Ben Swervin. Attack will share in a grid space on 15th and 16th positions. Bat Plus and McChicken alongside each other for 17th and 18th. Can they get a good start in this race with WSR Flip Flop Fish rounding off the top 19 drivers for today's race at the Italian Grand Prix. Looks like we're going to get ready to do 5 red lights out, and away we go for the race. Williams is on pole, and it's lights out, and away we go for the WSR race. Oh, and that's a poor start for the Alfa Romeo. Actually, that's a great start for the Alfa Romeo. A little bit of glitch there. But oh, and there's contact. There already is contact at the back.
Yeah, I see that being, what if Potowski had contact with somebody? T1 is a disaster, missing wings from half the grid in the back. What if Potowski's completely missing his left end plate? So is LSF1 Baker. Ooh, jeez. Everyone from 16th all the way to the back of the grid has had a disaster. Burn It Down is the biggest loser right now, down 7 places. Virtual safety car is deployed. Wow. 5-second penalty, ignoring yellow flag. That's debatable. That's debatable.
That definitely is debatable. Oh, that's an Alfa Romeo spinning. Oh, for the race lead. Oh, my goodness. Sorry to interrupt what we were saying. That is a major lead change. And that was an Alfa Romeo with a virtual safety car spinning there.
Ooh. Back to racing
That's big.
speed now.
And looking intent, already up to 4th place. And Lucas with that spin, he's going to be having problems. He might have damage as well as intent.
Goldfinch.
And who was that? That's Goldfinch. Goldfinch, the Racing Point.
How did he get no damage? He's back moving with no damage. Holy shit balls. Look at him go. All right.
That's
Lucky.
very promising for them. So, I mean, like, if he can continue his pace, because, I mean, the thing is, if he just spun and he's got no damage, he's able to continue. And look at everyone into the pits. McChicken, I'm Kepi, Bats Plus, looks like they're all into the pits. Watatowski looks like he's coming into the pits. Oh, no, he does not come into the pits. Very interesting.
Skill Shots dives in. Skill Shots goes hard. Seffi
Very
puts
interesting.
softs on again.
And we got JJ moving on the Alfa Romeo. Looks like of Lucas up in, I think that's 4th position, 3rd position, or 2nd position, sorry. There's a little bit of glitching with the standings there. Yeah. And I also just noticed something. I don't know if you noticed this. The 2 Alfa Romeos sit 1st and 2nd. Well done.
Yeah, they are. And Diego right now, look, I knew that Diego had more pace in him. That's why I said during qualifying, he is walking away a little bit right now.
I think he definitely is. I mean, the 1.3 seconds to his teammate behind, that's a very good gap to the 2 Alfa Romeos. And we also have to consider Lucas with that spun during the VSC. He could have got damaged. That might, and the tires as well could be degraded they could be degrading really fast due to that spin. So that could be also another reason why he's dropping back. But you were also saying, like you said, in qualifying, Diego had the pace. So it's really showing here today. It could be just down to pace itself because he's really pulling away from his teammate.
Yeah, look, we're gonna, like I said before when we were doing the formation lap and waiting for everybody to form on the grid. I think we're gonna have an incident that's gonna cause a safety car into turn 1. Everybody seems to be filing through nicely right now, but I don't think that we're gonna get 27 laps without a major incident at turn 1.
I think you're absolutely correct because, I mean, like, incidents can happen at turn 1 and they can definitely bring out random safety cars that come out. And so I definitely think we're going to have a safety car type of race here. I mean, like, if a safety car comes out, this changes a lot of race pace itself and strategies. Real quick, while we're on the subject of safety cars, strategies, all that sort of thing, what's your thoughts on strategies for around the Italian Grand Prix? 27 laps, of course, with the 50% race. What do you think is the best strategy for these drivers?
Well, I think personally with the 50% race, no one with the softs can do. I think you go softs to mediums, and I think the interval or the time that you want to pit, depending on how many safety cars or virtual safety cars or whatever you get, to manage your tires, and depending on the battling you're doing, you should be pitting anywhere from lap 11 to 13. So I think that you're going to have a really good opportunity to save tires in the first half of the race because we're going to have an incident, and we might have another VSC. Save some tires, save some ERS, save some energy, and towards the end of that window, you want to burn it all, and then get yourself in the pits, get the other compound tire on, and build it back up and get ready to burn it again. What do you think?
I think that's a perfect strategy. What you just said, everything you just said is spot on, because it's absolutely correct. I mean, like, you never know what can happen with safety cars. And then also with the different types of tires as well brings in some sort of, you know, a different set of, like, mentality to some of these drivers. And I mean, you were saying, I think you said lap 13, was it? The exact lap of these guys pitting. I think that's a really good strategy to put in. Like maybe going for the medium tire, softs to mediums. And Monza is, of course, the Temple of Speed. That is what it's nicknamed for. And the tires you want to put on are the softer compound tires. Okay, so let's quickly talk about the hards, the mediums, and the softs. Hard tires, like I said, I think I said earlier on, was used for long distance driving. So that is used for like the McChicken, Skill Shot. They're all going the hards. They're going for the long shot here. Medium tires, of course, is the best strategy tire, I guess, I would say. And then, of course, the soft is the fastest, but degrades the most as well. So I did kind of want to touch on something real quick. The tires for around here, we all know it's a very fast circuit. So do you want to put on those hard tires and go to a very long distance? So I'm thinking of basically Chicken and Skill Shot right now. They put on the hards. Now they're going to go to quite a bit. They could actually go to the end of the race on these tires. But is that the best strategy? Because while you're going to have a better strategy, but you're going to be losing so much time because those hard tires they're so slow compared to every other tire. And like I said, this is a very fast circuit. So are we going to see those hard tires be an issue for some of these drivers? I mean, they may play out in the long run, but they may play out to a very, very hard strategy when it comes down to timing itself.
I agree with you 100%. I think we got a couple of penalties for multiple warnings for a couple of drivers. I think the hard compound tire is used in this case, as that emergency stopgap because they couldn't very well go 21 laps or 24 laps with mediums. That just will not work. And you know, I'm Seppi. I think he pitted. Yeah, he pitted, and he put the soft back on. So he's playing the safety car game. He's saying there's going to be a safety car. I'm going to come back in lap 15, put my mediums on, and go when that safety car happens. And the guys that pitted the lap before him, McChicken and Skill Shots, I guess or maybe just before him, they don't believe that there will be another safety car. So they're saying, I'm going to utilize not having to pit again, and hopefully we all stay on track, and I'll gain 30 seconds, 40 seconds in everybody else's pit stop window. But here you got to look at the times and the gaps and everything. And as a race strategist, if you're on if you have one of those little stool seats on the side of the track next to the principal, you know, that's one of the hardest jobs that you have is the strategist trying to figure out, well, when do I come in? You hear Bottas or you hear Hamilton and Raikkonen and, you know, Magnussen and all these guys bitching at the guys on the other end of the radio, and they're saying, listen, you come in now if you want, you'll lose the race. You put the hard compound tire on, you're going to lose 1.5 seconds to 1.9 seconds per lap. You got 40 laps left in a 100% race if you're pitting on lap 25. And they'll tell them, look, you can pit now if you want. You will lose the race because if we have another pit opportunity, everybody else will be on different tires, and you've just wasted a compound that's going to be slower around the track for 20 laps. And usually they shut up because the strategists are almost always right. That's what they get paid for, is to look at nothing but what should I do in any given situation. They run all those scenarios through, and that's their job. So being one of those people right now when you're asking, as Burn It Down pits, I'm thinking that the hard compound tire is going to fall off like a brick in a hurricane on lap 20, maybe 22. And they're going to be feeling the pain, and they're going to be losing 2.5 seconds a lap. And not to mention that, but Broomhander, you got to think about this too. If they get into any battles with any drivers, regardless of what compound they have on, it'll be either the medium or the soft, those tires will be able to manage a battle significantly better because they can differentiate their braking points and they can get on throttle at different points after or before apex. Whereas a hard compound tire, it's losing grip, it's losing life. If you try and brake later, you'll lock up. If you try and brake earlier, something else will happen. It's just not as easy. What do you think about that?
I think that's something that is a big issue. I mean, like, I think, or just a big issue to drivers putting on the hard tires. Of course, the hard tires are good tires, but not in this situation. And I think what's also interesting too is that, like you're saying, the hard tires compared to the soft tires are a completely different tire. And in overtaking and all that sort of thing, they're going to lose so much time, not just in the straights, but in the corners too. And I think another thing too is that, let's take, I'm Skefi, I think that's how you pronounce his name, and McChicken. Now, okay, both incredible drivers, but there are totally different strategies right here. The soft tire, if Kefi starts pitting, if he starts going faster lap times, he could actually be within a pit stop to McChicken. And when he pits again for those same or to a medium or soft tire, you know, he actually might even come out ahead of Chicken. And at the same time, Kefi will have fresher tires when he does come out ahead of Chicken. So I think that's where it's really big. And then on the plus side as well, with all these packs of drivers, like for instance between Flip Flop Fish and I think Prairie the Dog, that a big pack that could cause a safety car, and that long game strategy that some drivers are going to pick will be completely destroyed because of that safety car. So it's just not worth the risk. It really isn't. I think that's all I can say.
I agree with you. I really do. I think the hard compound tire, I think McChicken, Skillshot, and Potosi are going to find out that it is a mistake. They are not going to have the pace to keep up with other drivers. We've got lots of pitting. We got Lucas and FFC Lucas pitting. JJRD is not pitting, so he's staying out. Diego stayed out, so they're going to go 9 laps. Terra Auto and Intense stayed out. They're going to go 9 laps. Flip Flop Fish has the medium compound tire on. He is going to keep going, of course. Let's see what Goldfinch does. Goldfinch continues. So does Attack Wolf.
This is really interesting. This is really interesting. I'm watching Lucas Serra and Lucas, the two Williams and the Alfa Romeo cars. They had a 5-second penalty, by the way, so that's why they were held up in the pit stops. But they just went on to the medium compound tires. Now, I was thinking they maybe go for the hard tires, but they're going for the undercut, I think. That's very interesting.
Yeah, I did. I think they are. You're right. And I did a trial where I did a 100% race with 0 as the difficulty, just because I'm not interested in fighting other AI drivers. So they just get the hell out of my way. I think I lapped them all like 4 times, 5 times. But the point was, I want to see what will tires do in a 100% race when your balls out, right? I found out that the hard compound tire is a piece of shit late in life. Like, when I say a piece of shit, I mean the soft compound tire falls off when you're 12 laps in, but it slowly falls off. It slowly degrades. When it's lap 8, lap 9, you're like, all right, I can't come in as deep in these braking zones. I got to brake at the 100-meter board coming into the final corner instead of the 75 meters. I got to brake at the 110 now instead of the 100. You can judge that in the soft. Whereas in the hards, you'll go from lap 19 to lap 20, and all of a sudden, holy shit, everything changed. My throttle input changed. My braking point changed. My ability to do everything normally has changed, and it's just so frustrating when they drop off. It's not normal. They drop off like a cliff.
It is really interesting how that works, and I know exactly what you're talking about. That does happen with the hard tires, and it's really weird how that kind of works, you know, because, I mean, like, you would think that the hard tires would last for quite a while, but when they get to a point, they actually do start degrading. Like you said, 19 to 20 laps, between 19 and 20, they're maybe good, and then just instantly, they are gone. They are absolutely gone. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I think that might happen when it comes to about lap... I want to say lap 23, lap 24 for Chicken and Skillshot, drivers that are going on those hard tires. So that's really interesting. I actually have noticed something with the hard tires, is that sometimes they actually do have this little bit of a, my goodness, safety car.
Here it is. Here it is.
This is exactly what we're talking about. Chicken, this might have, this is going to hurt his strategy quite a bit, but now he's going to pit and now he's going to have fresher tires. This is really interesting. In 10 leads now.
The second Lesmo is where Skillshot, I think he probably got some gravel, came back hard right and slammed into the barrier on the right side. Seffi's out too. Yep. Seffi spun at the, whatever that series, the next series of turns is.
Ascari, yep.
Ascari, yeah, he crashed right there. Huh.
Yeah, very interesting. 2 cars at the same time.
Look
That
at all
is
these
weird.
hard compound drivers going, look at this.
This is interesting now.
Wow.
Yeah, okay, so I'm thinking, I don't know if you're thinking this too, but a lot of these hard compound drivers, was this maybe some of these drivers that started on the mediums and they couldn't go to the softs?
It may be, to be honest with you. Maybe they didn't have any softs, but in the game...
Or maybe they didn't have a choice.
In the
They had to
game,
put on the
you
hards.
can't... Oh. Oh, yeah, because they were on mediums, and they can't put softs on because they won't last.
Right.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's a drive-through penalty. Speeding under safety cars. That goddamn penalty is such a pain in the ass.
Okay, and this is something that I've witnessed as well. It's something that happens, like, okay, it's really weird. It's not accurate at all. Like, I mean, like, it's understandable why that happens, but not in this sort of situation. I think you're thinking the same thing as me, is that these penalties come into a weird play, actually. Just quickly wanted to mention Intent, the race leader, now into the pits on a set of medium tires, but he's being held up. I think Diego will retake the lead. And also, quick little change, JJ came out in third. Actually, before the safety car was out, he actually jumped them. So the undercut did not work for Alpha and Williams. Just wanted to let you know that real quick.
Yeah, I see. Great observation, I have to say. Great observation there. Intent comes out in fourth, just before Lucas. Everybody on those mediums or hards now, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a medium and a hard compound race. We get another safety car anywhere after lap 18, we will see every single driver drop into the pits and put softs on again.
But that's exactly what will happen, because I mean, like, you know, that if that happens, that is going to be the best. This is going to be the best race of all time, because when you put on those softs, we're going to have an absolute nightmare of a race. Not a nightmare of like horrible, but a nightmare of beauty. This is going to be so great, because if there's a safety car, of course, around lap 17, 18, all the drivers will pit for the softs and they'll be overtaking everyone. I'm going to say it. Sorry, YouTube. Like hell. They're gonna be going like hell. They're gonna be flying so fast that they go into a rocket speed, you know? So, something to consider. Severe collision, 5-second penalty for Intent. I've seen a lot of drivers getting penalties. I'm not sure, is this maybe I've seen a glitch where this happens where it says that you get a 5-second penalty for hitting someone even though you don't hit anyone. Is that something that's going on right here?
It very well may be. Listen, Codemasters love your games and everything, but I could pick apart the penalty system like a brain surgeon picking apart a tumor. All right, it's just, at least it's consistent in being inconsistent, and at least I don't have to pay like iRacing. iRacing, I have to pay to be screwed. At least here, I get screwed for free.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of glitches that are very hard in this game and that are not realistic completely. And yeah, I hope that Codemasters can maybe fix these glitches quite soon, because everyone I've talked to has had problems with this, and it's very hard. So hopefully Codemasters can fix this and we can have, you know, a realistic race. But yeah, it's kind of just how it goes right now, I guess.
I mean, listen, we didn't have this in Season 1 when it was last year's game. This didn't happen. I didn't have 9 freaking penalties that I had to record from people on safety car laps. It did not happen. And it's not because, look, half the drivers in this race were in that season. These guys aren't reckless. These are very good drivers. Everyone in this grid is a skilled driver, knows how to give room, knows how to overtake, knows when you're allowed to claim a corner. They know when, okay, that guy's got that line. I have to give him space. I have to say, the drivers that are returning on this race right now, all of them are respectful drivers. Not like yesterday, where we had one of the most ridiculous series of bullcrap that I've seen in any league. But you know what? The safety cars in this lap, it gave us good ratings yesterday. Hopefully some of y'all are here today. Let's see these guys rocket this thing after the safety car goes into the pits. Take it away for the first lap after pits. Give us what you can. Or
all right, yeah, the safety car is coming in this lap, and this is going to be, like you said, a hell of a race when it comes to these final few laps. I think we're about halfway, actually. Oh, there's actually a collision with the Alfa Romeo at the back. Already collision with, I think that is a Williams. There's damage all over the track now. They're all warming the tires up, so we continue on. Diego's going to get the lap right here. I think he's going to full on. Yep, he's going for it right now. There we go. Diego on the lap. But look at the pace. JJ all over the back. He's got to use overtake now. Yes, he's going for it. But he's just waiting. I think that's also a good strategy as well. But major a lot of drivers moving up position because that is Lucas and Ben swerving into the pits. They have Ben had a drive-through, I think. So I think that's the reason why you pit. But it looks like the Racing Points are battling away with Pexter in that Renault car. So really looking good. And I just want to mention real quick, Haas. What a race they've had here today as Lucas Serra gets past the Mercedes of Carioto in, of course, that Mercedes car. But real quickly, Haas, Intent and Flip-Flop Fish, they were kind of further down the grid, bottom 8, I want to say, and now they're 3rd and 6th. What a race!
They were not having a good race, especially not Flip-Flop. He was, man, his qualifying, like a hiccup. Woo! I understand why he crashed, because he was doing a play-by-play while doing his hot lap. I got it, I understand. I expect more out of Flip-Flop. Why? Because, in my opinion, when Flip-Flop actually gives a shit, he's one of the fastest drivers on a pad in this game. Period.
Definitely have to agree. Definitely have to agree. I mean, I've commentated, raced with this guy for many races. As Lucas retires, pole sitter. Lucas retires. Very interesting. But continuing on, Flip-Flop. When I've seen, I commentated and raced over him. And what a driver he is. Absolutely incredible. And actually, speaking of a driver, he's actually battling with Chariotto in that Mercedes car. It looks like he brakes a little later, and that's perfect. Yep, that's it. That's very interesting. Massive battle right here. And even look at this. This is a huge train, I've just realized. Between Attack Wolf and Flip-Flop Fish, about 6 drivers are actually involved here. Wow, that's absolutely incredible.
Wow. The Pastor's gonna get by Terra Auto just because strictly. Oh my God.
So close.
Good job, boys. Good job.
That was good. Well done to Paxter for keeping that not getting hit there and just kind of keeping the line. Oh, now he's getting overtaken by Prairie the dog. So tight to the wall. Oh my goodness.
God. Wow.
Oh, he's going for it. Prairie. Is Mike going on the Mercedes car? No, he stays behind and waits. That's very good defending from these guys. Good racing. Well done.
Come back. The Pastor's coming back on him now. Oh, he's got him on the straight.
He's still going. The battle continues between these two guys. Prairie's got a better exit. He's going for the inside.
He wants it back. Oh, he got it. Oh.
He's got it, but no, it's not over yet. Paxter's still got the pace with the ERS. He's using ERS now down the inside. Maybe a Daniel Ricciardo move that Daniel always does. Prairie defends the line very well, but Paxter can't make the overtake quite yet. Comes down to turn 2 if he can get a better exit off of this corner, and Prairie does not. Looks like that either of them actually don't get a good exit. Prairie actually gets a better exit out of that corner. It's now all over the back of Chariotto. Use the ERS now, man. You gotta use it. He does not quite yet, and that's actually good maneuvering, actually. So he's playing this right now. He's waiting to make that move. And while he's closing up, Paxter's also closing up, so the battle is not over. Wadabatowski is off the track, I do believe, or that could have been McChicken. McChicken's joined. This is an absolutely phenomenal battle. Now who's joined the parties, Wadabatowski and Chicken, Bats Plus, and I do believe Baker and, Baker are all within, so 5th all the way down to 14th are in a train right now. What a racing scene we have seen right here.
This is epic stuff right now, I have to say. Broomhandle and myself are witnessing an extraordinary race on Worldwide Sim Racing League right now. I gotta tell you, great stuff, boys. Let's keep it up.
I definitely think they're going to keep it up because look at the battle for 5th place right now. Chariotto and I think that's how you pronounce his name. Flip-Flop, Chariotto, and Prairie the dog. Paxter's joined the party as well. And also Goldfinch. Look at this. Goldfinch is going on Paxter right now. DRS, ERS enabled. Paxter's defending that line. And then we also have the battle for 5th. Chariotto round the outside of Flip-Flop Fish. They're still side by side, but now Barry the dog gets involved too. Oh my goodness, almost 3 by 3. He a little bit of contact. Now he's got the ERS. Use the ERS now. He's not using it yet. I think he's waiting for Flip-Flop and Chariot to possibly make a mistake and just swoop in and make that overtake.
This is good stuff. I have to say that you're exactly right. Now from 5th, 6th, 7th, all the way down to 12th, we have a serious race going on right now. Intent 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Okay. Oh, we have an overtake right now. Lucas Serra over Intent. Intent wants it back for sure. Both of them on the medium compound tires.
But look at the pace difference. Sarah's on 7-lap old tires compared to Intent's 4-lap old, so Intent's going to be much faster. And he's got not as much. Oh, VSC is deployed.
Oh, no.
That is Lucas. Or no, that is a Red Bull. That's Bats Plus.
Bats Plus. I'm going to ride along board with Ben Swerve and see if we can catch him before the game takes him off the track. Again with this, whatever this is, this series of corners here that my brain won't remember. Oh, they took him off right as he's coming up. Let's see what he spun at Ascari on the left exit.
Oh, and it looks like Chicken just got some damage. 5-second penalty for severe collision. And that actually was a collision because I could see his damage is gone. He's backing up the field. He might have had problems with Delta because we know the game's got terrible Delta, honestly. Gotta say it. Delta on this game is absolutely ridiculous.
It's so bad.
I think he may be... Oh, and he's gonna crash out. Oh, that's a huge crash.
That's exactly what happened. He got a penalty, another 5-second penalty. Oh, no. The Pastor and Perry the dog are now apparently having a problem.
That is at turn 4 and 5 at the chicane. That's interesting. Did they maybe make contact in that gravel and just got punched off? I wish we had replays, you know? That would be the best thing.
We've got damage on the Pastor. He has no end plate. He has no left end plate. His right end plate is all right. He also missing wing elements on the left side.
Oh, so, sorry to interrupt. Petoski's off. Petoski's off.
Oh.
Wada Petoski. He's off the track.
Oh, no! Oh, my God. Perry was so close, or if the Pastor was so close to wrecking into the back of him at the exit.
Oh, that's close. Almost did I want to say Stroll. I think it was Vettel that spun in 2019. And then it was Stroll that that did hit him. Vettel went right in the back.
Vettel started driving back onto the track, and then...
That's right, yep.
If both of them did it, like bang bang, and it was just like, and then Vettel's like, what is he doing? And everybody's like, what are you doing, dude?
Right. And then we had Stroll doing the exact same thing to Gasly just a few moments later.
Yep.
It was crazy. I gotta say, I mean, Paxter almost hit. I do believe it was Patowski. But I gotta say that 2019 craziness was even worse than that. Well, moving on to the battle for 4th place. That's actually 2nd place, sorry. Intent is all over the back of JJ. So while that train between 5th down to about 12th position was battling out, they've kind of all separated from each other. Now we have that major battle actually for 2nd place now. So while the train was just separating, the battle for 2nd and 3rd and 4th all kind of clamped together, so now they're battling now. It's actually more JJ versus Lucas Serra now, and Lucas Serra has got the pace, but JJ has got DRS, but he has no ERS as well, so this is very interesting.
I gotta say, Intent's gonna need to close this gap a little bit here. He's got 7 laps to bring this gap down, and his tires aren't that much newer than JJ for him to be playing the long game here. If he had soft compound tires on, he could save ERS, save fuel, go to lap 24, turn it all up, and burn past him. But not with the same compound. I don't think that'll work.
And that definitely won't work. So it's definitely going to be an interesting strategy for these drivers. I mean, like, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think he could be able to hold on to that strategy?
No, I don't. I think that if Intent doesn't turn it up on the straights and start pushing overtake, and he is now, I think. Yeah, he is now.
He's got barely enough ERS, though.
Yeah. going to be really difficult for him to get on the podium now. JJ's going to have to make a mistake, or we're going to need another safety car. Kara Auto and Goldfinch are real close.
Yeah, Carroll all over the back of Goldfinch, and actually I think Goldfinch did overtake the Mercedes. Did he? I think he did. But now he's gonna. I think he's gonna have to be under pressure from that the Mercedes behind. Well, it looks like JJ is closing up on WSR at the moment, but just cannot get past. He just doesn't have enough pace. I think what he's doing is just waiting for the right time. He's closing in ever so closely to the Williams driver, and he's just waiting for the right moment to overtake him to be able to get a good advantage off of that line. It looks like Wadowitowski and Prairie the dog. Prairie back in the fight for points now. He's in 10th, so good points right now. Only 1 point, actually. Attack Wolf was also on fresh softs, so those will also be... He'll be actually closing in on these guys for points as well, so... Will be that battle between 9th and 11th, between 11th, will be a nice battle to see throughout this. Oh, about 6 or 7, actually about 5 laps remaining of this race. About 6, sorry. Wow, time has flown by.
Yeah, look, when you have somebody to chat with during these races, the race goes by a lot faster. Also, I found that I don't fall asleep.
Yeah, that is good. That is good, especially when you have exciting racing like this. You can have. You don't fall asleep, so that is very good.
Perry,
oh, Perry the dog!
Oh, no!
Oh, the contact!
Oh,
that was close.
That you would see in real racing. You would actually see that. I don't, you know what? Fair play, boys. Fair play.
We finally have the race that we've been looking for F1. Of course, Italian Grand Prix we got to talk about the Italian Grand Prix last time out of the 2020 Real Championship. Of course, we have this race. Well, what did you think? I bet, what's your emotions all from Gasly winning that Grand Prix? I think that was something that's incredible.
Oh my God, Gasly getting a race win, and Vettel holding him up. He's on Twitter just like, Gasly said something about, like, you know, really proud of my whole team, and he did the man's mature sportsman thing by thanking the team and everything. And a lot of people came at Gasly's throat saying you're shit and you don't deserve the ride, and there's so many better drivers. And Vettel came to his aid on his own Twitter, on Gasly's Twitter, and said to all the haters, "Have you ever won a Formula One race? He's 1 in 100. Shut your mouth."
Yep. I think Gasly was the 109th winner of Formula One.
Yeah, how many people have lived in the world since Formula One started?
Exactly.
Billions. Billions.
Right. And another thing, too, is, I mean, they're all saying that, like, Albon was way better. And, of course, Albon is a great driver, and he's also a very talented driver. But he hasn't won a Grand Prix, and he's in a faster car than Gasly. And, of course, this was a very, very different Grand Prix. But to do that and hold off Carlos Sainz, who's a very talented driver, he's going to Ferrari next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that proves great skill. So I'm super glad that Gasly was able to get that win. And what a Grand Prix we saw. I mean, we saw the top 3 not even in battling for the top 4, which is something you don't see very often. Verstappen out. Hamilton had that crazy penalty. I can't believe that even happened. Made his way through the field, which actually takes good skill. And then we had Bottas just on a weird form, actually. So, really interesting.
This is absolutely, sorry to interrupt, this is absolutely bananas from Wadowitowski and Perry. These guys are going bumper to bumper, wheel to wheel, banging wheels at every 4th corner. Every time Perry has an opportunity to overtake Wadowitowski, he's taking that opportunity and shoving the nose in. This is quality shit right here, ladies and gentlemen. They haven't gone to more than 5/10, half a second gap in 4 laps.
I think these guys are just definitely having some fun right now. Like you said, every chance Prairie gets an overtake, he's going to take it. And what's really interesting, too, he's very cunning right now. He's saving his ERS for the right moment. And, I mean, he is taking those interesting, like, areas where he just goes for it, you know? But he's saving his time. So these guys are really smart. They know what they're doing.
He's gone for it on the front straight every single time they come down here. Here he goes. I think he's got it now. Yeah. Oh, maybe not.
Oh,
Wadowitowski, Blake braked. Perry's got the better line, but he can't get past him. Oh, he
traction.
lost the tires. Oh, no.
And I'm very surprised he's not using his ERS. He's only at 63%. Wada's at 5. You would think Prairie is going to be all over the back, but he's a hunter just waiting to pounce. So he probably knew he was probably not going to make that overtake, but at the same time he could have. Now at 73%, he's just waiting. As Ben Swerven is out, becomes the... Okay. Hold on, give me a second to count this. Becomes the 7th retirement of this race. That's how many retirements we've had from this race. That's how much excitement we've had. And of course, no disregard to all the drivers that have retired. A super shame that you have retired because it's just, you know, unfortunately, that does happen in Formula One. You have retirements. But 2 laps left, and
Ooh, Lucas and Intent.
Way incredible.
Lucas and Intent. Oh, they spinning. What happened?
Lucas Sayers in the pits. Oh, what happened there?
Oh. Does Intent have damage? Let's see. Intent does not have damage.
There might have been contact with those two, but maybe not a point where Intent got damaged. Real quick, Wadapatowski and Prairie, they're still battling it out, but Goldfinch is all over the back of Flip-Flop Fish. He's lost a little bit of time, actually, and we still have a battle between the 2 Mercedes as well. Wada and Prairie are actually joining that battle. We could see a 4 shootout, and also, you can't count out Attack Wolf. He's on fresh tires, closing in on these guys. He's using every opportunity to get good advantage on these guys. He's closing up a 1/10 of a lap to the drivers ahead. We could see a actual 5-lap battle for, 5 different drivers battling it away in the last lap of this Grand Prix for 6th place. This is going to be a great battle for the end. And also, top 5 as well are also looking for good results.
Look, we were just talking about Attack Wolf. He was 8.9 seconds back when you mentioned that he had softs on it. He'll be coming. He's now 3 seconds, closing on 2.9 seconds back, only 3 laps later.
That's good racing from him right there. I mean, you could see down those soft tires. Oh, that's Wada off! Wada's off the track!
Oh, no.
And that might be the end of that battle for Wadapatowski and Prairie the Dog. It had to end at some point.
Wadapatowski has no wing, and when I say no wing, I mean absolutely nothing.
And he might be out of the race too, because look, Tex Paxter and Lucas Serra, we gotta talk about him as well. Is actually, I'm not sure what he's doing right now. Looks like he's gaining ERS. As Wada's into the pits now. This is gonna be a nice battle for the last point of this race. So very interesting. Goldfinch is now caught up to Flip-Flop after he had a little spin, almost a little spin at turn number 2. He's now caught up to Flip-Flop and is now gaining massive amounts of time.
Well, we've got to look. Flip-Flop's on those hard compound tires, and he's 5 laps away from... He's going to be lucky, because in 5 laps, those tires are absolute ass. And Goldfinch is at the tail end of the usefulness for the medium. So this is going to be good here. Goldfinch and Flip-Flop are going to have a battle on this last lap.
And speaking of which, of tires, real quick, Attack Wolf, we were mentioning him.
Oh, look at him.
He's closing in 1.7, 1.6, 1.5, 1.4 now. Oh my goodness, he's gaining so much time. It's almost going to be about 1.3. He's stuck on that 1.4, but he's closing in dramatically on that lap. But it is the final lap of the race. Diego's just coming through Curva Grande now, and he's starting the final lap of the race. Alfa Romeo, a home victory. I wanted to mention real quick, Gasly took that win for AlphaTauri, and you would have expected, okay, it's the Scuderia that won with Ferrari, you know, Scuderia. And when people hear it's not Ferrari, that is super sad to hear. And this time again, it's going to be here at WSR, because guess what? It's not AlphaTauri, it's not Ferrari, but another Italian team is going to win here. It's going to be Alfa Romeo with Diego that takes the win. And actually, at their home Grand Prix, it's going to be a Ferrari-powered 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hell yeah.
And actually, it might not be a 1, 2, 3, 4, because look at this. Goldfinch is looking to spoil that party and get back up into 4th place and ahead of that Flip-Flop Fish, Haas. And Haas, if they get set 3rd and 4th, that'd be absolutely incredible. But Diego comes across the line to win the Italian Grand Prix for Alfa Romeo. JJ in 2nd, and Ted came 3rd position, but penalties are still in effect as well. Goldfinch all over the back. Use everything. Get as close as you can. JJ gets 5-second penalty. Where will this head out? Flip-Flop gets third.
Flip-Flop takes... Oh, Flip-Flop and Goldfinch go better than Intent. Intent must have had 15 seconds in penalties.
And Karato already...
Baker
look at that,
gets...
both Mercedes.
Oh my god, Intent had... Oh my god, Intent is
How
down
many
to
penalties
9th.
did he have? He might get no points here. Oh no, he's probably going to finish in 9th. That is... he would have gotten 3rd, but he's gone all the way down to 9th.
I'm counting Intent's penalties right now. Intent, that's 5 seconds.
So Intent will score 9th because Tex Paxture is in 10th. Lucas Serra and Wada Batowski, the last 2 drivers.
11
What a
seconds.
race, though. What a race here. WSR for Tier 1. What a racing scenes we've had. So many incredible drivers. Okay, real quick, Devil, have you finished the calculations of how many penalties Intent has before we move on?
22 seconds, 20, 25, 35 seconds.
35 seconds. That is really crazy. I've never seen that many penalties in a league race before.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
That is a lot. Well,
he's probably pissed too because he was like, I
He
did
might
good,
be.
and then as soon as everybody kept finishing, he kept dropping it lower and lower and lower.
yeah. Wow. Wow. Well,
Broomhandle, give us a final rundown of the finishing.
all right, let's do it. Let's do it. Final rundown of the grid. It's loading for me, so once we get into this, we'll do a rundown of the grid. But quickly, I wanted to say, driver of the day the game gave it to Flip-Flop. I gotta give it to Flip-Flop too. What's your driver of the day? I mean, if the game is giving it, I usually and give a driver of the day.
I like it with Flip-Flop. I think after the beginning, after his ability to manage the beginning of that race, and then his outstanding ability to come back and still fight, good job, Flip-Flop. Podium.
I gotta give it to him as well. 3rd place from the back of the grid. That's something you don't see very often.
Oh my goodness.
That's something you don't see very often. Wow, and it's all 3 Ferrari-powered teams on the front, on the grid. The top 3 for our drivers here today for Ferrari's home Grand Prix. So that's nice to see. But let's quickly do a rundown of the entire grid. Diego rounds it off for the Italian Grand Prix for Alfa Romeo Racing. JJ in 2nd place for Scuderia Ferrari. Flip-Flop rounding off the top 3 for Haas F1. Goldfinch and Racing Point and Mercedes. They had that battle in qualifying at that starting grid. They actually finished with the battle, technically. Goldfinch in 4th. The 2 Mercedes in 5th and 6th for Baker and Karato in the 2 Mercedes car. Prairie the Dog at 7th, eventually gets some good points. Attack Wolf, good points as well. 8th position for McLaren F1. He kind of had a difficult session here today. And then Intent with all those 35 seconds of penalties. Tex Paxture and Lucas Serra. Tex Paxture gets that final point. And then Wada Batowski in 12th. Ben Swerve and McChicken. And then it looks like Bats Plus, Lucas, and everyone else retired. All those drivers did retire. So we did have, I think it was 7 drivers retired from our Italian Grand Prix here today, so only, I think, 12 finishers in the race. Absolute scenes, absolute incredible racing. We've seen a race to go down in the history books, honestly. What a race.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I really have to say it was a wonderful time commentating this with you. So hopefully you can come back next week because I don't fall asleep when there's someone else here.
I gotta say as well, thank you so much for commentating as well. It was a great privilege to be here at WSR. Hopefully we can be back. Did you want to do the last outro before we end off the stream? And do you want me to do it, all that sort of thing? It's up to you.
Go ahead. I'll say my name after you do your thing.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching the WSR Tier 1 of the Italian Grand Prix for the Autodromo Nazionale Monza Grand Prix. Of course, phenomenal race we've seen here today. Go watch the replay if you did not see the entire thing because this was an absolute race. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Both of us had a fantastic time. If you could not tell, we were having some fun time. And this time we did not fall asleep, so that is good. And subscribe to their channel. They have great content. They make commentary videos, of course, of the races itself. And thank you so much for watching. I'm Broomhandle, and with me today is Devil. I think that's how you pronounce your name. Is that what I should call you?
Oh,
WSR
yeah.
Devil?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, do you have any last words before we end off the stream here?
Oh, man, thank you guys for joining. I hope everybody's happy and healthy out there.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. I do believe, what's the next Grand Prix? Do you believe it's, remind me again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't tell you.
So we'll see you at the next one, guys. We'll see you whenever that is. I think it's, if we're following the normal calendar, it would be Singapore. So, if it's Singapore, we'll see you then. If it's another Grand Prix, it will always be a special Grand Prix with all our talented drivers out there today. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.